everybody, welcome to my trivia channel from here in beautiful Yorktown, Virginia. And it's October 20, 2020. I'm a freelance writer. My articles appear in a couple of local newspapers. I was lucky to go to all the Van Halen and Rush concerts back in the 1980s at the Hampton Coliseum, also known as the mothership in the rock and roll world, so really cool. But I just uncovered this story I never heard before, but back in 1980, so over 40 years ago, Rush and Van Halen actually played in nearby towns and met back up at a hotel. And so you knew something was going to happen. So they met at a bar, and Rush had rented a side with the liquor and the beer, but Van Halen's groupies of about 50 or so didn't know it. And so they kind of crashed in on the alcohol, and they kind of smoothed everything over. Everybody started drinking, Rush's groupies too. But then an incident, of course, occurred after they had been drinking that turned ugly. And what happened? Was it A, Alex Lifeson said that David Lee Roth's martial arts kicks were kind of lame? Was it B, Eddie Van Halen spilled a beer on Geddy Lee's tape? Was it C, Neil Peart, and yes, that's how you pronounce his name according to Neil, like the fruit, Neil Peart. He started mocking Alex Van Halen's drumming abilities. These are all fun, aren't they? Or was it D, David Lee Roth said Rush had pretentious lyrics that didn't make sense? Okay? Rush had pretentious lyrics that didn't make sense. Okay, as always, I'll give you a few seconds to pause, and spoiler, we'll give away the answer. Okay. The answer was B, Eddie Van Halen, believe it or not, spilled some beer on Geddy Lee's tape. Like Geddy Lee had, I don't know if back then you had a little tape recorder or whatever, but we used to actually play tapes in cars. Some of you don't even know what a tape is, I guess. But yeah, so that kind of, they weren't happy, and Geddy Lee, I guess, could be uptight sometimes. But anyway, it turned out a year later, actually 4 days shy of a year later, they actually met up again at another situation where they met at the same hotel. Can you believe that? So 1981, and this time Geddy Lee came up and offered to shake hands, and this is funny too. And one of the Van Halen bodyguards didn't know who he was, and body slammed Geddy Lee. Oh man, the 80s were great, weren't they? So I mean, those are great stories, really, aren't they? So, but I hadn't heard them before, so I read a lot of rock and roll stories and that, so somehow I missed those. But anyway, well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you for the next trivia question. Goodbye. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Mr. Finn?